What is going on, everybody? Welcome to NBA Pick and Roll, where we go through some basketball-related discussion before moving into the official picks for the daily slate. Only on weekdays, though, but plenty of betting and basketball content coming at you from the Pick and Roll show on the Board NBA YouTube channel, where you should be subscribed, and make sure you drop a like on today's stream, and the Board NBA Twitter account. Follow us there for all the updates on the show. The Board NBA is, of course, the NBA content division of the Hammer Betting Network. Visit thehammer.bet for more sports betting content. And we're back. It's 11:15 a.m. Well, it's a little bit late because we were putting together the last play, but we're happy to see some patience in the chat because we want to make sure we get the best plays out there for you guys. No rushing, and I think most of you guys hopefully can appreciate that. But first things first, off topic, we'll go to soccer because my English team crashed out on Saturday. Pips has his Croatian team in the semis after taking down the favorites Brazil. How was that experience watching that goal by Petkovic late and the shootout win by Croatia?
Yeah, it was amazing. After the game was finished, I was like, what did just happen? Like always some huge drama with our team. Like in the last World Cup also, we were always down, then getting back into the game, then winning on penalties, and we did it again. And the interesting thing, when we got that, when Neymar scored that goal, I wasn't even panicking. I was like, okay, we got this. We did it so many times, and I believe we can do it again, and we did. And yeah, it's just amazing. But I also believed before the game, I've shared a pick that Croatia will draw were under 33.5 goals, and it cashed pretty easily. And yeah, I think we had a great game. Of course, we need to had Livakovic on the playing defend.
Oh,
yeah,
so
he had some saves, but most of the shots were right into him, like nothing crazy. Brazilians were poor in the finishing, and the goal they scored was like 1 minute before the break at the extra time, and our guys were just exhausted. Modric was barely running, and he let Neymar go behind him, and then after that, it was pretty easy for them. And yeah, but I think we played great, and I think we actually deserved to win. Brazil was a bit better, but we had our tactic for that game, stay behind and pull some counter attacks, and we did it.
Yeah, it's all about game management here. England, the team I support, lost to France. And France, though they were not the better team, picked their moments to attack in transition and took those chances. So that was a upsetting one for me. But yeah, I had the under 2.5 unofficially given out on this show, which was a pretty easy cash on that one. So having some fun with World Cup betting content. If you want more betting content, by the way, I do a Fine Margins show, which is a soccer content division of the Hammer Betting Network, weekdays after games at 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll be doing one after the first semifinal, which is the Croatian semifinal tomorrow, if you guys want more sports betting content. But let's move into some NBA discussion here. Pips, it's all about you today. We had Croatia, now we're going to the Houston Rockets, because the Rockets are like kind of good, They've won 5 of their last 9 games after a pretty, it's not, I wouldn't say a disastrous start to the season. Record wise it is, but this is a team that's like kind of looking at that tall French guy in the draft. So it's not the end of the world here, but most notably in this stretch of 9 games, they just beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Milwaukee Bucks were healthy pretty much. So what's been changed? What's gone on for the Rockets in the last 9 games that has them winning games?
Yeah, the thing is, they won 4 straight at home. They are completely different team at home, and the way.
I know another team that's like that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if you just take a look at, Jalen Green is their best player, and if you take a look at his split numbers, home and away. At home, he is 25 points a game with 63% true shooting. And when you look at the away stats, he's 19 points, so 6 points less, and 47% true shooting, so 20% lower true shooting. Like, those completely different team home and away. And they beat Hawks at home. They beat 76ers at home. and they beat Bucks at home. That's like playoff teams. And yesterday against the Bucks, like it was amazing to see how they defend. Like the Bucks line was, I think, 115 points, and they scored 95, like under 100. And Giannis had 16 points. Like I don't think we saw that over the last 3 years. Like the only
Now,
teams that had held Giannis under 30, 20 points were
yeah.
Miami Heat with Wall defense and Boston Celtics. Like the only two teams. And now we have like the worst defensive team in the league holding Giannis. And it was amazing, amazing defense by Jabari Smith. Like he did like amazing on Giannis. Giannis was ultra aggressive. Like it wasn't down to him being passive. He was aggressive and he got blocked, I think, 5 times. Yeah,
Wow.
just amazing game from my team. They were hustling hard.
So some numbers on this game here. You mentioned the Milwaukee Bucks team total. At Pinnacle, it was 118.5, heavily juiced to the over, which is strange. The money line on the game was Bucks were about minus 420 in that area. Some had it up to minus 500. They were 10-point favorites. And the Rockets, they've been playing well. One guy I kind of wanted your opinion on. Now, this is like real, like you got to be really into basketball to care about this, but Tari Eason, I feel like every time I watch him play, he just impresses me even more. And we're going into the depths here. We're going to the bottom seed in the West, talking about a guy who maybe should be getting more playtime and not a ton of playtime. Your quick thoughts on him?
Yeah, I was so happy when we drafted him because I was like high on him and AG Griffin, and both turns out to be great. And I just love his hustle. Like whenever he's on the floor, he's doing something. Either it's offensive rebound, either it's defending, either it's scoring. Like he's just huge hustle, giving 100% energy guy. And I actually have a problem with Silas, and you know already that, but I have huge problems with playing. I mean, Eric Gordon 32 minutes a night and giving 10 minutes to Tyrese. Like we are tanking team. Like why do we play veteran who won't be here like next year and are crazy? I mean, I will understand if he was playing terrible, but he is always great on the floor and he's getting like 10 minutes a game. Like I'm completely frustrated with it, but yeah, it is what
So
it is. But I just love this guy.
I just looked. So I just looked at his box score from yesterday, and he actually dropped 0, 0, and 1. So maybe not the best day to hype up Eason, but as you mentioned, it's beyond just stats. He's doing well, and I've been happy. I've been a bit of a fan of him. And what I said earlier about another team who struggles away, the Raptors, by the way, are now 10-3 at home and 3-11 away from home, having lost back-to-back games to the Magic. So anybody not involved with the Raptors fan base today, it is not good right now. 2 days off though for that team. So let's move on into the recap from Friday. We can even recap the week in general because it was a very good week here. I believe the picks go 7-4, or do they go? Is it 8-3? I think it's 8-3. It was a
Yeah,
1-1 on
eight and
Friday.
three. Yeah, 8-3 because Lillard and those guys
Right.
were
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
8-3.
I changed that back on the tracking and correctly tracked the Friday one. Unfortunately, there was a loss and a win there. The first one was a same game parlay. D'Angelo Russell and Rudy Gobert go over their lines in the Timberwolves Utah Jazz game. Did you manage to catch that one? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was pretty. I would say that was pretty easy. Russell scored, I think, 20 points in the last quarter alone. So it was huge game from D'Angelo Russell, and Gobert got his rebounds like with 6 to 7 minutes left. So it was easy one.
Easy
But
one.
I am actually very frustrated with the first one we lost, and
You're telling
I
me.
actually could speak some about Scotty Barnes' defense and how frustrating it was to see like last three unders against against Toronto Raptors. I bet completely on Scotty Barnes' defense. Like he is not being good.
No.
That's like being like moderate. Like yeah,
Yeah. So
it's
the
even
other
worse
pick,
than
sorry,
that.
the pick that lost was Bankero under 20.5 points. Bankero, like, I think he took 11 shots. So
Yeah.
based on that, the Raptors were in a really good position to hold him not only under 20.5 points, well under 20.5 points. And it wasn't like he
Yeah,
was getting to the line either. He was hitting everything. He started 7 for 7, and just from a Raptors fan perspective watching that game and from a perspective of the bet, that like, what is going on? I will say some of the plays were defended fine. It's just maybe not from Barnes, but he was just hitting shots. But a lot of it was really poor all over the board. I mean, the Raptors lost 2 in a row to the Magic. So with respect to Orlando fans and the Magic, who have a fun team, those are games you would expect the Raptors to win. So I mean, you're frustrated. I'm watching it from a fan perspective as well. I'm frustrated watching Scotty Barnes play basketball at the moment. It's been a pretty disastrous week for the Raptors, quite honestly. And you know what? The Raptors could end up being the topic of conversation at some point this week, especially if they don't win their next game on Wednesday. They're playing the Sacramento Kings, so not even an easy game there, as you would expect it to be coming into the season. But enough on that. Let's move into the Thrive Fantasy segment. Guys, we want to remind you about Thrive, and we want you guys to get involved with their player prop contest. All you have to do is make 10 selections out of the 20 players on the over or under on the player prop that is given for the player. Rack up points as the points are assigned based on how likely each of those things are to occur, and you can get in line for a share of the prize here. Today's prize, up to $2,000 in prizes. First place takes home $500. Like I said, easy to use, easy to navigate. 20 players, 20 of the players with the biggest effects on the game that they are going to be playing in. Just make 10 of those selections to get yourself involved potentially for that prize. Only a $20 entry, but to make it super easy to enter, you can sign up right now with code HAMMER to Thrive Fantasy for a 100% deposit match up to $250 instantly. Super easy to play, super easy to get involved with the great and exclusive bonus that we have to you as part of the Hammer Betting Network. And don't just stop there on the NBA Monday. Over $200,000 in prizes are given out weekly on Thrive Fantasy, so take your skills beyond the NBA to other sports or check out their daily NBA contests. With that, we're going to allow Pips to help you guys out a little bit with the selections. Do you have any of the plays on the board here that you kind of had catch your eye?
Yeah, I have actually 3. The first one is Miles Turner, under 9.5 rebounds. Yeah, this is way too high for him, especially against the Miami Heat. He had 3 rebounds in the last game against the Nets, and the Nets had 60 rebounds, 29 offensive rebounds, 29 offensive rebounds. Yeah, and they were playing like the G League team.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. And Miles Turner, like, I mean, I think the biggest issue with him and the team's not trading for him is because he can't rebound for his life. Like, terrible on that part of the game.
It was a 8-point spread for the Pacers, who actually lost by 3 in that one, and it was a Cam Thomas game actually where the Brooklyn Nets get the win. So let's move to the second one. Anything else?
Second one, Tyrese Halliburton over 8.5 assists.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, he cleared this in 15 out of the last 17. So yeah, he'll be the part of the later pick.
Yeah.
And the next one is Clint Capella over 11.5 rebounds and assists. I think he cleared this in 16 out of the last 17 games. So not the greatest matchup, but with Collins out and Jalen Johnson not starting, I think they will have Hunter at 4, so it's everything on Capella to fight against the Steve Adams on rebounds.
Yeah, makes sense. Love the picks. Get involved with Thrive Fantasy with Code Hammer. You can use these 3 picks, make 7 more, get yourself a chance at that grand prize. But with that, we're going to move into the official picks segment on the Pick and Roll Show. If you guys love same game parlays, you are going to love the picks for today because we have 3 official picks and all 3 of them are going to be same game parlays. I want to remind you guys to also check out Pips on Twitter because he does throughout the day give away some more picks that he likes. He has a lot of same game parlays that do go out at Pips NBA, Pips NBA. But first official pick is involved with the guys you're talking about there. Halliburton involved in this one as the Heat are taking on the Pacers in Indiana. What do you have for us?
So pretty standard same game parlay in great matchups for Indiana. And this is Halliburton over 8.5 assists with combined with Buddy Hield over 2.5 threes, which is minus 115 at DraftKings and Bet MGM. And yeah, so this is like a great matchup for both. Miami Heat is allowing above average threes, and they are above average assists. And with Tyrese Halliburton clearing this line in 15 out of the last 17 games, including the game against the Miami Heat, I think even the last game against the Nets, he had 9, and the Nets were just trying to let him score and not trying to, not let him get others involved, and he still ended up with 9 assists and 20 potential assists. And they missed some unbelievable looks in that game, so he was down to have even more. And the second part is, I think, is Buddy Hield over 2.5 threes. And can you show just the graph for this one? I mean, this is a huge clearance rate. He had one tough stretch, as you can see on the graph, where he had 1 3 in 3 out of the 4 games. He was shooting poor, but he's, as you can see now, back to his usual shooting and scored 4 or more threes in 5 straight games. And Miami Heat is actually allowing the most 3 points made to opposing shooting guard and small forward combined. And Hield is playing a pretty even split on those positions. And in the game earlier against the Heat, he scored 5 threes. So yeah, I even like him at over 3.5, but I like this combination way better. So we'll go with this is our first pick.
Yeah,
and next one.
And we'll say, hang on, just to again preface it, it's a 1.5 unit play, so you're feeling really, really good about this one. So here is your second play. I want to run through it.
My second play here is same game parlay, Damian Lillard over 2.5 threes, combined with Gobert over 13.5 points, which is minus 120 at DraftKings. So these two teams played 2 days ago, and it was a pretty close game, and Heat won. Blazers won. In that game, Lillard scored 3 threes, but on 3 out of the 11 shooting. He had a pretty great looks entire game. I think he was expected to score like more threes, and the reason is Gobert is in the drop coverage and he's getting out of the pick with wide open threes, and yeah, I think he will have another great game tonight. And the second part of this bet is Rudy Gobert over 13.5 points. I mean, they're playing Yusuf Nurkic at the screen level. They're hedging most of the pick and rolls. And yeah, when you have Anthony Simons or Damian Lillard as a weak side defender and tagger on the roller, they messed up almost every other possession. And last game, Gobert had 24 points pretty easily. Like most of them were dunks on the wide open layups or something. And I think with him scoring 24 points and with Blazers winning the game, I don't think they will change anything there. And yeah, I think Gobert, and also Yusuf Nurkic is like completely lost on defense sometimes. And yeah, and they are also one thing when guys are going into on the drives. Bigs are trying to contest it, heavily contested, and yeah, there's just drop-offs and alley ups for Gobert, and I think he should clear this line pretty easily.
Yeah, went to Gobert on Friday, had success going back to him today, along with Lillard against a team that doesn't guard opposition guards that well because of the personnel that they have. So like the pick there. Moving into pick number 3, Nets at the Wizards. 2 of the key players in this matchup going for some points.
So in this game, we are going to the Durant over 24.5 points and Kyle Kuzma over 19.5 points, which is minus 150 at DraftKings. And I would just say we can do this also. This one also 1.5 units.
Okay.
Because I like this quite a lot, and I actually like both of these guys at their regular lines, but I am afraid Brooklyn could run in this game, and some small blood possibility. So I don't want to risk 2 units on this game. So risking 1.5 on the lower line seems like a perfect combination for this one. And yeah, you can show graphs that's like pretty amazing. If you look at the KD clearance rate, like he's almost certain to score 26 or more points. Like this guy is just clearing this line like every night. He's the most consistent scorer in the entire NBA. He cleared this line as you all can see in 24 out of the 27 games,
Yep.
and the unders came against the Raptors. So pretty expected the heavy double teams, and the Brooklyn Nets were doing great, and he didn't need to force anything in those
Yep.
games.
They won all the games against
And
Raptors.
yeah, so if you look at the games against the Wizards, they played twice. He scored 28 and 39. They weren't double teaming him. They were just letting him to score, to shoot from the mid range, and there is no guy with his size that can contest it. And Porzingis in the deep drop, covering the rim, protecting the rim, just easy game for KD. And the second part of this bet is Kyle Kuzma over 19.5 points. And if you look at this graph, the guy just went completely nuts over the last 10 games, clearing this line in 9 out of the 10 games. And so most of these games are with Bradley Beal, who is out tonight. And yeah, I mean, Nets are playing switch defense, and Kuzma is about to shoot 25 tonight. 20, I expect him to shoot like 22 to 25 times tonight, and with getting to the line and him being aggressive, and I don't think KD can stop him. With a huge offensive load, and yeah, I just think I love his lower line because he will have huge volume shooting tonight, and yeah, I think he can get there like even with worse efficiency tonight.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma really working hard to earn himself a contract, and recently he's been doing that. He's kind of rebranded himself as a player, and he's done so very, very well. Big fan of his game. I think there's a lot of teams that could use a player like that. So let's wrap up all the picks. We're going to recap everything here. We recap after every show all the picks to make it super easy for you guys to tail. Also, we track them on the BetStamp app. If you ever miss a show, still want to see the picks, you can go to betstamp.app in your web browser or download the BetStamp app from the App Store, Google Play, wherever you get your applications. You can track bets there. You can find odds there. But if you go to the Find Betters tab, you can search Pick and Roll, and you'll easily see our logo and all of the picks. And for today, those picks are, first of all, same game parlay with the Heat at the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton over 8.5 assists, along with Buddy Hield over 2.5 3-pointers made. That is minus 115 at DraftKings and BetMGM, and we are making that a 1.5 unit play with some confidence there. Second one is another same game parlay. They're all same game parlays. The Timberwolves visiting the Blazers. We want Damian Lillard over 2.5 threes, along with Rudy Gobert over 13.5 points. That is minus 120 at DraftKings. Just 1 unit for that one over there. And then the third pick, Nets at Wizards. Durant over 24.5 points, paired with Kyle Kuzma over 19.5 points. This is another 1.5 unit play at minus 115 odds at DraftKings. So that's been your show. Check us out every single weekday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, or maybe a few minutes afterwards if we're finalizing the picks here for Pips. But we do give out NBA discussion and betting content, and most importantly, the picks every weekday on the Board NBA YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed there so you can get involved with the comments in the live chat so we can interact with you while we're doing the show. You can also check it out on Twitter at the Board NBA, where you can also follow us for updates on when the show is going live, if there is ever any scheduling conflicts for us, which happen from time to time. Sign up to Thrive Fantasy with code HAMMER for an instant 100% deposit match up to $250, and let's hope to find some winners today. Last week was really good. We want to follow it up here. Let's hope to do it tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow for more NBA discussion.